Welcome to Voyage Daily Tech, the most important news personalized for you every day, supported by Voyage.com.
After listening to today's news, you'll know first, Scotland's AI boom consumes enough water for 27 million bottles, revealing a critical trade-off between energy efficiency and water usage. We'll explore how this environmental footprint could transform data centre design and force a new era of transparency under EU regulation. Second, TSMC's 39.1% profit surge from AI chips deepens the compute divide while it friendshores production to the US with $6.6 billion in government funding. We'll analyse why this market dominance is a turning point and how it could affect competitive dynamics for startups and AI innovation globally. Third, JP Morgan's record $14.4 billion profit comes with an AI-driven hiring freeze, creating a white-collar attrition engine on Wall Street. So we'll discuss why this signals a major shift in finance and what it means for the future of white-collar jobs and AI-driven systemic risk. Fourth, Abu Dhabi's MGX fund joins the $500 billion Stargate project and other mega deals, sparking national security alarms over control of US AI infrastructure. This discussion will reveal how this capital influx connects to the debate on digital sovereignty and what it means for the future of US tech leadership. Fifth, PayPal's partner Paxos accidentally minted $300 trillion due to a fat finger error, exposing the centralized control and trust gap in stablecoin technology. Today, we'll take a closer look at this operational failure and its implications for stablecoin regulation and the push for real-time proof of reserve systems. Let's start with a single statistic that might just change your entire perspective on this industry. The AI you use every day is drinking a lot. Data centers powering artificial intelligence in Scotland are now consuming enough tap water to fill 27 million half-litre bottles a year. But that's not the whole picture. That number has quadrupled since 2021. This is rooted in a concept most people haven't heard of, what's known as the efficiency trap or the Jevons paradox. The idea is that as technology becomes more efficient, we just end up using it more and our total consumption actually goes up. Even as individual AI chips get better, the explosion in demand for AI services means the overall environmental footprint just keeps growing. This isn't for drinking, it's for cooling the massive power-hungry warehouses full of servers that run AI models like ChatGPT and Google's Gemini. They get so hot, they need a constant flow of water to stop from overheating. The situation presents a fascinating duality. Scotland is promoted as a green tech hub because of its cool climate and renewable energy. But in the data center world, there are two key metrics, PUE, or power usage effectiveness, and WUE, water usage effectiveness. The dirty secret is that you can often get a great PUE score by using tons of water for cooling, which gives you a terrible WUE score. It's a trade-off. And right now, water is losing. What really brought this to a head was a stark warning from an operations manager at Scottish Water. With a massive new AI industrial park planned, he went on the record stating that if they had to supply all that new development with tap water, that would be a real concern. This dynamic is now being described by a powerful new term, data colonialism. It's a modern issue where powerful, often foreign tech corporations set up shop in a country to extract local resources, in this case, water and power to fuel their global services. The profits flow out while the environmental strain stays behind. And the problem is compounded by a culture of secrecy. Most of these data centers use what are called open loop systems, which an expert described as using enormous amounts of water. And the tech industry itself, it doesn't release its own figures. All Scottish data centers contacted for the original report did not respond to inquiries. This secrecy is one of the industry's biggest problems. Tech companies who profit from data are notoriously opaque about their own environmental data, but the tide is turning. The European Union is now forcing the issue with new rules, like the Energy Efficiency Directive, that will require large data centers to report their energy and water consumption. The age of hiding these numbers may be coming to an end. This isn't some abstract problem. It's estimated that just 10 to 50 of your own queries on an AI model can consume half a litre of water. And according to university modelling, the carbon footprint is like every person in Scotland driving an extra 90 miles every single year. The push to make Scotland the global AI hub is on a direct collision course with its most precious natural resource. The digital world has a very real and very thirsty physical cost. We were just talking about the enormous environmental cost of running AI. Now, let's shift our focus to the company at the heart of the hardware that requires all that power and cooling. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Co., better known as TSMC, just saw its third quarter profit explode by a staggering 39.1%. To be clear, this isn't just any company. TSMC is what experts call a kingmaker. According to recent analysis, they produce over 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. Think about that. The entire global AI industry relies on this one company, so much so that US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has called it the world's biggest single point of failure. The reason for this surge is the AI megatrend. A while back, we focused on ASML, the company with a monopoly on the machines that make these chips. Today, the focus shifts to the foundry itself. TSMC is quietly making the advanced AI processors for giants like Nvidia and Apple, and demand is white hot. The knock-on effect of this dominance is the creation of what some are calling a compute divide. This means that smaller startups and university researchers, who often drive innovation, are struggling to get their hands on the powerful hardware they need. It raises a serious question about whether the future of AI will be concentrated in the hands of just a few tech giants. The company's CEO, Wei, went on the record declaring that their conviction in the AI megatrend is, quote, strengthening, and they're backing this confidence with a massive increase in capital expenditure, raising their spending on new capacity and upgrades to a floor of $40 billion for the full year. However, this incredible growth comes with inherent environmental strains rarely discussed in earnings calls. TSMC's operations are projected to consume 10% of all of Taiwan's electricity by 2030, and it gets even more serious with water. One of their science parks can use up to 99,000 tons of water every single day, a huge strain on a region that already faces drought risks. The numbers are jaw-dropping. High-performance computing, which includes AI, now makes up 57% of their sales. And the most advanced chips, smaller than 7 nanometers, now account for a massive 74% of TSMC's total revenue. The reason for this insane expense and difficulty boils down to a single technology. As we've discussed before, this process relies on extreme ultraviolet, or EUV, lithography. We're approaching the physical limits of silicon, and this is the only known way to print these microscopic circuits. The design costs for a single 3 nanometer chip can be up to $1 billion, and each silicon wafer costs over $20,000. But this isn't just about one company's success. It's about who controls the future of technology. With TSMC at the center, they're also navigating high-stakes geopolitics. This is more than just avoiding tariffs. It's a deep strategic calculation known as friendshoring, by building new factories in allied nations like the US. And Japan, TSMC is de-risking its business from potential conflict. The US government is backing this move in a big way, providing TSMC with $6.6 billion in direct funding under the CHIPS and Science Act to build its new plants in Arizona. This isn't just a good quarter, it's a power move, cementing TSMC's role as one of the most critical technology companies in the world. Speaking of the boom fueling TSMC's record profits, that same trend is now causing a seismic shift on Wall Street, but not in the way you might expect. While JP Morgan Chase's profits soared 12% to a staggering $14.4 billion, its headcount barely moved. This isn't an accident. So the thing is, instead of big headline-grabbing layoffs, this is a new form of silent workforce reduction. Financial firms are using AI to automate routine tasks. So when an employee leaves, their role isn't refilled. It's a gradual shrinking of the workforce that allows them to cut costs without negative press, creating what some are calling a white-collar attrition engine. According to JP Morgan's CFO, the bank now has, quote, a very strong bias against having the reflexive response to any given need to be to hire more people. This signals a major pivot on Wall Street. This brings up a huge question. Banks are implementing AI during blockbuster profit years. So where do the financial gains from this reduced headcount actually go? Research from sources like McKinsey suggests that trillions of dollars in value created by AI are primarily being used to boost revenue per employee. This, in turn, boosts executive bonuses and shareholder value, with little evidence of savings being passed on to consumers. Arch rival Goldman Sachs is singing the same tune. Their profit surged 37% to $4.1 billion. But CEO David Solomon's message was a stark warning. Goldman will constrain headcount growth as it reorganizes its entire business around AI. Believe it or not, a JP Morgan executive has already put a number on this, predicting that even as business volumes grow, its operations and support staff will fall by at least 10% over the next 5 years, all thanks to AI. Now, you might be thinking, what about retraining? It's a fair question, but there's a catch. While both banks are launching big retraining initiatives, there is almost no concrete data on the success rate of retraining non-technical finance professionals for these new highly technical AI-centric roles. The promise is there, but the proof is still missing. The most chilling part, Goldman's David Solomon seemed to warn his 48,000 employees directly, stating in a memo that the next few years might be uncomfortable for some. The message from the top of the financial world is now crystal clear. The era of AI on Wall Street has begun, and the new mandate is efficiency. This trend also introduces a new kind of systemic risk that has regulators deeply concerned. If all major banks start using similar AI models, it could create vulnerabilities. Imagine an AI flash crash, but in core banking operations, all happening simultaneously because the AIS are all making the same mistake. It's a new invisible vulnerability in our financial system. That concern about systemic risk in finance is now echoing in the world of AI infrastructure, where a new powerful player from Abu Dhabi is making moves on a staggering scale. The company is called MGX. In just the past few months, it has joined a $100 billion AI infrastructure consortium with Microsoft and BlackRock, partnered on the massive $500 billion Stargate supercomputer project with OpenAI and Oracle, and was part of the $40 billion purchase of Align data centers alongside investors like NVIDIA and Elon Musk's XAI. What's striking here is the playbook. While other major sovereign wealth funds tend to diversify, MGX is going all in on the foundational building blocks of AI. They're not just buying stakes in companies, they're buying the infrastructure itself. This accelerates the trend toward an AI oligopoly. As this handful of tech giants and a single sovereign fund create interlocking partnerships, we may be watching the creation of a new too-big-to-fail AI utility. Experts are already warning that this level of consolidation creates systemic risk. A single failure or cyber attack could cause a cascade of disruptions across our entire economy. However, if you zoom out, you'll see another layer of strategy at play. The chairman of MGX is the UAE's National Security Advisor, who met with President Donald Trump at the White House to announce a $1.4 trillion investment in the US over the next decade. Reports also show MGX provided $2 billion in funding to the crypto exchange, Binance. When we place the fund's leadership alongside its investment targets, the geopolitical questions become clear. The US is getting the capital it needs, but it's potentially giving a foreign state strategic leverage over its own technological future. This is the heart of a global debate. Do you prioritize rapid growth, or do you prioritize what the European Union calls digital sovereignty, building your own capabilities to reduce reliance on foreign powers? And then came TikTok. Under an executive order signed by President Trump, MGX joined with Oracle to take a major stake in TikTok's US operations. This, however, leads to a critical question many security analysts are asking. Does this deal actually solve the problem? The original fear was about Chinese government access to American data. But the UAE, MGX's home country, has its own history of extensive state surveillance. The concern is we might be moving out of the frying pan and into a different fire. This flurry of deals triggered a political firestorm. Senator Elizabeth Warren issued a blistering statement saying, MGX, a shady Abu Dhabi firm, has already cut deals to get sensitive American technology while enriching the Trump family's crypto firm. The American people deserve to know if the president has struck another backdoor deal for this billionaire takeover of TikTok. When you hear a term like shady firm, it's worth understanding the context. Concerns have been raised because MGX's parent company, G42, has a documented history of partnerships with Chinese tech firms like Huawei, which the US has sanctioned. While G42 has reportedly agreed to divest from its Chinese ties, this history is exactly what fuels the political alarm bells in Washington. Still, some analysts see a different strategic game. They argue that for the US to win the AI race, it needs capital on an astronomical scale. And in this high-stakes world, the choice may be simple. Either America provides the goods and accepts the partnership, or these powerful investors will go to China. From intentional multi-billion-dollar deals to an accidental multi-trillion-dollar error, a single keystroke just exposed a major vulnerability in the world of digital currency. PayPal's blockchain partner, Paxos, mistakenly minted an astronomical $300 trillion worth of the PYUSD stablecoin due to what it called a technical error. Interestingly enough, this wasn't some sophisticated hack. It was likely a classic fat finger error. Someone probably intended to mint $300 million, but added a few too many zeros and ended up with 300 trillion. To put that number in perspective, that's more than double the entire world's estimated GDP. The truly remarkable part is that, unlike a mistake inside a bank's private servers, this happened out in the open for the world to see. The radical transparency of the blockchain provides a level of real-time public auditing that traditional finance simply lacks. Market watchers on the analytics platform Etherscan were the first to spot the enormous injection. Paxos says it immediately identified the error and, within about 20 minutes, burned the excess stablecoins, effectively deleting them. To fix this, Paxos burned the excess coins. This is a critical function to understand. Because Paxos is a centralized, regulated company, it holds a master key to send tokens to an unusable address, effectively destroying them. While it was used for good this time, it highlights the immense centralized control a single entity has to create and destroy value at will. The official statement was clear. This was an internal technical error. There is no security breach. Customer funds are safe. And while funds were safe, you can be sure regulators were paying close attention. The New York Department of Financial Services was in contact with them. And this kind of operational failure will almost certainly trigger calls for stricter rules for all stablecoin issuers. This incident gets to the heart of the trust gap in stablecoins. PYUSD is advertised as a stablecoin always redeemable for $1. However, the $300 trillion error highlights that the dollar peg isn't guaranteed by the technology itself, but by trust in PayPal and Paxos' reports. And that's where some experts argue a potential solution lies, a real-time proof of reserve system. This would use technology to constantly verify that every token being created is actually backed by a real asset, closing that trust gap automatically. The incident comes as stablecoins are becoming more mainstream, with PYUSD being the 6th largest in the world. For 20 minutes, the world saw what happens when the human and technical layer of digital finance falters. The mistake, while temporary, exposed the core reality of the stablecoin system. Its value is ultimately guaranteed by corporate promises and reports, not just by flawless code.
That's it for today on Voyage Daily Tech. Follow, share, and stay tuned for daily updates coming your way tomorrow.